What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the JnJReviews show, where we talk to you about the latest movie news, movie trailers, and give you guys a movie review every week. So, Jamin, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm excited to talk about this movie news.
All right.
We're starting off though with could be considered a disappointment. Tulip Fever, the movie starring Christoph Waltz, Alicia Vikander. You can look on a huge cast in this movie. That it was filmed all the way back in 2014. I and a lot of people have just been excited for it based on that cast, and it's set in the 17th century, so there's all the cool costumes. It looks cool. The movie was supposed to come out originally around Oscar time this year, pushed for some Oscars, but now it is pushed back to February of 2017, which is never a good sign for a movie. Jamin, what do you think about that?
Yeah, and also no film festivals for this movie.
Yeah, it hasn't been shown anywhere yet. Nobody's seen this thing.
And so, it kind of disappeared. I think, with the cast and with the time period, you were right with the costumes and stuff. It's been a perfect time to put out this movie. I think it could challenge for some things. It just seems like it's really well done. Unfortunately, though, it does get pushed back. Hopefully we see it soon, though, and hopefully it doesn't continue to keep being pushed back.
Yeah, hopefully it's good, too, because
Exactly.
February, that's usually not a good sign for a movie like this. They usually dump off movies if they don't think. And it's the Weinstein Company who has a record of doing this. They'll push movies. Like, they brought up Southpaw last year. It was supposed to be Oscar. They moved it up to August or whenever it came out, July, because they didn't think it could make an Oscar push. And they're doing the same thing here. So I am still excited for the movie, even though we haven't seen anything yet, just based off the cast and premise. So hopefully it rights the ship.
Yep.
And then next we've got, I don't know, did you see The Nice Guys yet this year?
Mm-hmm.
You did see that? Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it, actually, quite a bit, yeah.
I really love that movie. And the girl, Angourie Rice, who plays, what's his name, Ryan Gosling's daughter, really surprised me in that movie, very good. And she has joined the cast of Spider-Man Homecoming, which already has a great cast. So I think this is really good news, especially I could see her playing a young Gwen Stacy. Just because she has that charisma and charm to her that she could go back and forth with Spider-Man.
Yeah, they didn't specify who she's playing yet. They're keeping that under wraps. But I think it's already a terrific cast. And I think the new Spider-Man character really set off to a good start in Civil War. I think it's going to be a really entertaining movie, especially, again, with this cast that's being developed. And I think she's going to fit in really well. Had a really awesome role in The Nice Guys, so I think it's going to be a pretty good fit for her.
Yeah, I think she'll slide right in. Like I said, she really surprised me because child actors can really go either way in those types of movies, and she was one of the best parts of The Nice Guys for me, so I'm excited to see her in that. Then we got some more casting news. We got 2 Woody Allen movies coming this year. The first one comes out in the next week or so, I think, Cafe Society, which I'm looking forward to. And the other one doesn't have a title yet, but it's set in 1950s New York, which already sounds good to me. And it's got Jim Belushi and Justin Timberlake join the cast. I love Justin Timberlake, not only as a musician, but The Social Network. I think he really proved himself as an actor, and I'm excited to see him in a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, most certainly. I think it's interesting to see that Woody Allen, Cafe Society is based in the 1930s, now we get the 1950s. It's interesting how we're getting kind of these interesting decades. And Justin Timberlake joins. I think it's going to be very interesting. Same type of thing. I enjoyed him in The Social Network. I think he's a very decent actor, better than I think people would expect. And I think he'll be an awesome little addition. I think it should be interesting with the premise of the 1950s New York as well, which is a great time period and great place at that time. So I think it lines up to be a very decent movie. Yeah,
I think it'll definitely, because again, coming out around Oscar time, so haven't seen any trailers yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be good.
I have no name either, so...
Yeah, don't know what it's called, 1950s New York.
So, right again, we can't really say much, but the premise sounds
can't predict if it's going to be that good or not, but based on the time period set in and the cast, I'm expecting some good things.
Yeah.
And then next up, we've got the Alien movies are kind of all over the place right now with what they're doing, because you've got... What's his name? Neil Blomkamp's supposed to be doing an Alien movie that's now supposed to be canon and eliminate third and fourth. And then you've got Ridley Scott, who did the original Alien, now doing his own thing with his Prometheus movie and now this. So now we've got what's supposed to be kind of a sequel to Prometheus, but not. It's not going to relate to Prometheus. Alien Covenant, and Danny McBride, who a couple weeks ago we learned he's in the cast. He now has said some things, including revealing his character, and he's going to play kind of, I could have predicted this based on just him, but he's going to be the captain of the ship, kind of like Idris Elba was in Prometheus. And the ship, the Covenant, he's going to play the captain, which I think that's fine. And I really did like what he said about, he talked about all the practical effects, and like they're building these big sets and like shaking them through the ship. That Ridley Scott does that really well. That really excites me.
Yeah, Ridley Scott's kind of the king of that type of stuff, but yeah, I think the Alien movies have been a little bit, it's been a roller coaster ride when it comes to movies and what's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, Prometheus probably wasn't the greatest movie of all time, but
I did like it.
I think people enjoyed it, for the most part, and whether this is a sequel or not, I think it'll still be very solid. And Michael Fassbender's in it too, right?
Yeah, they're going to be, right now, people are thinking that they're going to be in like flashbacks or like the opening stuff to kind of show what happened to them. They're not going to be main characters, but I am glad they're going to be in it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Michael Fassbender. I think, overall, I think it's just going to be, hopefully, a better or at least equally better, or equally good as the Prometheus movie. Because I enjoy some kind of modern alien movies. Because the other ones were such classics, and now to see some modern stuff
with the practical effects,
exactly,
because they're not going full CGI. Because Prometheus, you can say what you will about the movie, it was beautiful.
It was
like the set pieces, everything, just a beautiful movie, and I did like that movie. I understand like none of the questions got answered that people wanted answered, but basically it was just a big like space popcorn movie that I liked. In this movie, I like what Danny McBride's saying about the practical sets. I buy him as the captain of the ship, like Idris Elba was. So I'm looking forward to this movie. I think it's coming out, we're getting it in August 2017, so next summer. Nice. I think that'll just be another big, fun popcorn movie. And then next up, I think this is the final news. We got some bad news about Lego Movie 2, which I think you did enjoy that movie.
I really enjoyed Lego Movie, yeah.
I did I'm not like in love with it like everyone else, but it's a fun kids movie. And now Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they're off working on the Star Wars Han Solo standalone movie, which can't wait for that. But they wrote the first draft. They wrote Lego Movie and directed it, and they wrote the first draft of this script. But now Warner Brothers is bringing in a different writer, the creator of BoJack Horseman, to write the second draft. So usually bringing in another writer, not a good thing. But what do you think about this move?
Well, at least they bring in the BoJack Horseman creator who. That was a very successful Netflix series, no doubt about it.
Not a kids show though.
No, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it'll maybe add, I like kids movies that can bring in a little, adult humor here and there, or
because Phil Lord and Chris Miller did the 21 Jump Street
and
movies,
there you go. So I think you're gonna get that from this movie, which is good. And I'm not really worried about it being pushed back. I mean, as long as they get a movie that comes out and that's successful and good. I think that's all you can really ask for, but it's not a great thing to hear that they had to bring him in. But let's just say that,
and the movie's not supposed to come out till 2019.
2019.
Now. That's like I give a crap.
Yeah.
Lego Movie 2 5 years later, like who cares anymore?
But I mean, at the same time, they could have done a lot worse with this movie. At least they brought in someone that knows what they're doing. So
and Lord and Miller still producing it. So
exactly.
It's not like they're abandoning the project; they're just busy.
Exactly.
All right, so that's it for the movie news. Now we're getting into the trailers that were released this week, and we're starting off with our boy Daniel Radcliffe, loved Swiss Army Man, which I saw for a second time this week, by the way. Still loved it. But his new movie that's coming out in August, Imperium, the first trailer. What'd you think of it?
Well, I thought Imperium. I got some notes written down because there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, Imperium is awesome. Daniel Radcliffe, who would have knew? I thought he was just going to be done after Harry Potter.
Making us proud.
But he really has done a fantastic job. This is kind of different role than he did with Swiss Army Man.
I think every role is going to be different than he did in Swiss Army Man.
Right, okay.
Nobody's ever going to do that role.
But, okay, so based off a true story, you guys probably know from our last video that we do love true stories. So that's awesome. But overall...
He's a neo-Nazi. Going undercover as a neo-Nazi, which...
Extremely interesting, I think, especially with the true story ties in the back. But yeah, really all I had to say about this one is it looks good. It looks entertaining, and most importantly, it's coming off of an impressive Daniel Radcliffe as of late. So I'd expect it to be pretty decent.
Yeah, really. The trailer was fine. I'd see this movie just for Daniel Radcliffe at this point because of Swiss Army Man. He looks like he's giving another interesting and different type of performance going undercover in this movie. So really, the trailer, it looks like it'll be an okay movie coming out in August. So you never know, but it looks interesting enough, the true story, and he's in it. So for that reason alone, I'm gonna see it just because coming off Swiss Army Man, I'm on a Daniel Radcliffe. If he's in it, I'll watch it at this point. Then we got the trailer for the people who made Secret Life of Pets, which just came out that we didn't see. They're making Sing, which is coming out around this Christmas. It's got Matthew McConaughey, Scarlett Johansson, Reese Witherspoon, Seth MacFarlane as voice casters, and we got the second trailer for it. What'd you think of this one?
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting because this movie reminded me a lot of a movie I really enjoyed this year, Zootopia.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are comparing it to.
Yeah, most certainly, which isn't a bad thing. It was a great movie.
Yeah,
something that really excites me with anime movies is always having animals because they kind of like to make fun of animals with pop culture, and they did that so well in Zootopia. This one, they look like they're doing the same exact thing, which is good. So I think it's definitely interesting. It looks like it's also trying to show kind of discovering your inner self, like who you like. These are animals trying to be singers. You know, they don't like what they're actually doing, and they realize that their true passion is singing. So I think it'll do a lot of things. It'll be funny, and it'll also teach kids to follow their dreams.
Yeah, it looks like a fun family movie coming out around Christmas, so you know the whole family's gonna go see it. And yeah, I do, based off the voice cast, I'm excited for it because you got some great talent there. And it looks like a fun story. This trailer, kind of similar to the first one in my opinion, nothing really new here, just got more of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Good cast.
Yeah.
So.
I'll go see this movie. And then next up, we got a smaller movie that I didn't even know existed until the trailer popped up, Table 19. But once I saw the cast, you got Anna Kendrick, Lisa Kudrow in a movie, and some more people that I'm forgetting. Daryl from The Office, I think, was in there.
Yeah.
But this trailer, it's about people who, like, they go to a wedding and they're, like, at the last table. It's, like, barely invited. Like, they just invited you because they felt like they had to. They don't really want you there. So it's kind of this, like, outcast. I've seen it called, like, the Breakfast Club at the weddings, which I don't really know about that one because that one's, it's more about stereotypes. But this is, like, a different group of people coming together. And this movie, it looks cute. It looks cute.
Well, it definitely looks like a cool movie. It's kind of your classic Island of Misfit Toys, you know. They all join up, kind of the people that no one really cares about, and then, you know, they end up being the cool people in the end. And so, yeah, I think it definitely lines up to be something interesting. As you said, it kind of brings in a lot of the old TV show characters that are those really good side characters. And I think that's an absolutely perfect fit for a movie like this. Kind of the Island of Misfits, as I said before. So I think it should be interesting. Yeah, I think you're totally right. It's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, it's not coming out till January of next year, but it's definitely on my radar now. I'll definitely be watching out for it.
Yep.
And then finally, we've got probably my when I saw this batch of trailers, this is the trailer I was most looking forward to watching. It's the trailer that disappointed me the most. That is Bloodfather, Mel Gibson's new action movie. And I shouldn't have got my hopes up because I thought, you know, Mel Gibson action, I was like, this is going to be great, but I should have known this is just going to be like a cheesy B-movie piece of crap.
Yeah. The only thing I think that works in this is that Mel Gibson does look good for the role.
He's Mel Gibson in an action movie.
No doubt about it. So I think, yeah, that's going to appeal to some people that go out to see this one. But yeah, you're right. I think it does look a little bit kind of just typical, really.
Yeah, it looks just like another, like, one of the 50 action movies we get a year.
So, yeah, that kind of sucked. But I do think that Mel Gibson in this movie, at least by the trailer, did look like he was having fun and doing his thing. So, who knows? But I think it is definitely worth maybe a check out. So
yeah, because, I mean, Mel Gibson in his personal life, that's another thing. But him as a movie star, I really do like him as an actor. And I think as an action star, that's why I was looking forward to this trailer, because I think he can really do good. Even now, he could be like, because Liam Neeson's an action star and he's like 60, so why not Mel Gibson make another comeback as an action star?
Yeah.
But this movie just doesn't look good. It comes out in August, and that's really a mixed bag, so that doesn't really sell me on it. But hopefully, I might check it out just for Mel Gibson, but the trailer didn't sell me at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's it for the trailers this week. Now we're getting into our movie review, and this week we mentioned earlier Secret Life of Pets came out. Don't care. And then Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, which I don't know. I'll see at some point, but
Probably check out at some point. Yeah.
not a run out to the theater opening night with the masses kind of movie. So we went down into the depths and we looked at a movie that is on. It's available for what's it called, on demand right now, and it's in very limited theaters. It is called The Phenom, and this movie stars I forget the lead guy's name.
Yeah. I'm trying to think as well,
I
but
should have written it down. But Ethan Hawke and Paul Giamatti are also in it, and it's about a young pitcher who he has a breakdown on the mound in one of his games, and that kind of he gets put in with Paul Giamatti, who's a sports doctor, and that kind of leads back to some issues with his father and all the stuff that could have led up to this breakdown. So what did you think going into The Phenom?
going in, I didn't really know what to expect, but you know, we got a very interesting take on the mentality of sports and baseball in general, which was super interesting, actually.
Yeah, this movie they're barely playing baseball.
Yeah, which is actually a good thing, I think. Yeah. And so a couple of things I definitely did notice. One was there's a lot of unique filming in this movie. You saw a lot of kind of like first person shots, as well as there's a lot of imagery and things that kind of pointed to things that would happen in games mentally for the main character.
I'm trying to look him up.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's driving me crazy because he's really good, so I feel like we should definitely talk about him.
Yeah, so things would happen, and then you'd get the mental side of things, and it all kind of related back to his father, who basically was kind of one of the hard-nosed fathers that would just keep pushing him to be the best. If you ain't first, you're last. Type of thing, and so it's kind of interesting to see the effect on the son's point of view, which is really interesting. So I think it was a very interesting take, very unique, and again, very unique, different types of shots and everything else. Both Ethan Hawke and Paul Giamatti.
Johnny Simmons.
And Johnny Simmons was also fantastic. Paul Giamatti, as you said, played the sports doctor, talked to him. I think he fits that role perfectly. And then obviously Ethan Hawke was the father for Johnny Simmons' character, and he was pushing him to be the best he could be. And so it was very interesting and something that I wouldn't expect to see from any other sports movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a different sports movie in the fact that sports is not the main focus. It's more of what sports can do to an athlete and the kind of effect it takes on their mind and the pressure they and other people put on themselves. And this movie was really frustrating for me. It was a good movie overall, but I think with a few tweaks and maybe a different director, this really could have been a fantastic movie.
I agree with that.
I saw so many times where I was like, if they could just get in there, and maybe it's really because of the micro budget, they can't do much.
Yeah.
But if this had gotten $5-10 more million and a little sharper direction, this movie could have been really something special. But for what it is, still, I do like it. It's more of a conversationalist movie. Lots of little conversations that
real short.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a really good movie. I think it added some really cool elements to sports movies in general. We don't really have a movie out there with this premise, and I think it was good that they decided to swing the bat on this one, and they certainly did. So I think if I had to rate this movie, I'd go ahead and rate this movie a 7 out of 10. I think it did a great job for the budget that it did have, and produced a pretty interesting little fun sports movie that none of us have really thought about before.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is a fun watch. It's quick, like we said, hour 20, you can breeze right through it. I think you take more away from it than you would your standard sports movie. So I'm going to go ahead and rate this movie, and we tied last week with Swiss Army Man, but I don't want to do that again because we got to keep this interesting, so I'm going 7.1 out of 10 for The Phenom. I'd definitely say this movie's available for rental. I'd say if it sounds like your cup of tea, like a more psychological sports movie, then check it out. Otherwise, it's just probably not for you because it's low budget, it's a lot of talking, but if it sounds like something you're interested in, you should check it out.
Most certainly.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching episode 2 of the JnJReviews show. We'll post the links to the trailers down below so you can tell us what you think about all the news and trailers this week, see if you agree with us or disagree. And you guys haven't seen the Phenom, I guess see it. Don't tell us what you think about it because you don't know it. JnJReviews.
Sign out.